Hi everyone, welcome to my podcast and thank you for spending a little bit of your day with me. This is a podcast about knitting. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about sewing and a little bit about design too. I have a couple things on the needles that are design work. So my name is Shannon Bellum. I am coming to you from northern New Jersey. You can find me as Bellummake on Instagram and on Ravelry. And welcome new viewers and welcome back returning viewers. So I'm going to start off with sewing because my finished object for this week is a sewn object and Martha is modeling it for me. This is here, let me start here. This is the Pharaoh dress and I did the sleeveless version. I made it out of a unfortunately thin linen, which, I mean, it'll be great around the pool, but not so great without a slip if I'm not, using it as a cover-up. I just didn't pay attention to the linen when I got it. It's beautiful. I love the color. It's a silvery color. I think I talked about it last week, but I didn't show you. So this is it. With the pattern, I pretty much followed the way it was written. I made a couple modifications. The first was because I was using linen, I sewed twill tape in the top of the pocket, invisible on the inside to keep it from stretching. This linen is really prone to stretching. And the other change I did was I made the front neck facing and back neck facing and sleeve facings one piece. So I just put them together and made one big piece of fabric, which kind of led me to this really comical thing that happened on Sunday when I was sewing the dress. I wanted to sew the neck and the armholes of the facing with the side seams still open. I had already closed up the back. Can you see that? Yeah, right there. See the cute little button? I did that. That's a modification too. That was supposed to be a hook and eye according to the pattern. So I'd already closed up this back seam. And yeah, I don't know about you. I could not figure out how to turn the facings, how to turn everything right side out again. It just became like one of those snakes that eats their tail. And yeah, it was like, I tried like, I don't know, 4 or 5 times. I read how to do it. I didn't watch any videos. I'm sure there's some videos out there on it. But I couldn't figure it out. I just couldn't figure it out. But maybe you can comment below and let me know what I did wrong. Because every time I thought I had it, it just ended up wrong side out again. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, that's fine. Better for you. But if I had left, I realized that, so basically what I was trying to do is pull the dress right side out through the shoulder. So I was like, I took one shoulder seam and I just kept pulling the dress through and it just ended up this endless loop of going through the shoulder and never being right. So yeah, I know for future, I think what I'm going to do is either close up the shoulders after I put the facings in, or I will leave, if there's a back seam, of course, I'd leave the back seam open. So if I decide to do this again and I use those same facings, I'll leave the back seam open and do the whole neck and then do the turning around. Because if I had the back seam open, one back panel would have fit through one shoulder and I would have been right side out, and then the other one would have fit through the other shoulder and it would have been right side out. Instead, what I did was I ripped out the armholes and then I top stitched them. So you can see that there. I probably could have invisible hand sewn them too, but I decided not to do that. So yeah, that's my one finished object. I didn't finish any knitting objects yet this week, but I'm getting close with a couple. So I think we're going to have a good big finished object video coming up soon. The other thing that happened to me sewing wise was I got some more linen, and I'm going to be careful with this one and make sure that it's not too see-through. But I got some really pretty, from, if you're a returning viewer, it's kind of that cinnamon color. They called it coffee on the website. I got this from the clothing company they're in the Midwest somewhere. I don't remember the state, but they're called Conscious Clothing, and they sell off their in bolts on an Etsy site. So I was able to get some really beautiful hand-dyed organic linen. So I don't know what I'm going to make with this yet, but I felt like the time was now and it was the right color. So super excited about that. I also got a book, a Japanese sewing book. I'm gonna just pop a picture in of it here so I can talk about it. I don't have it near me. I don't know where it is actually. It's probably in my bedroom. It's called Happy Chic Sewing. Anyway, you're seeing a picture. It's got 20 patterns. I love the outfit that's on the front of the book. These pants are so cute. I think I need to modify them somewhat though, to fit me. And there's several dresses in there. So I'm actually gonna go to the clothing shop. Sorry, my cat's like on the bed walking all over everything. So just trying to make sure he's not doing anything bad over there. I'm planning to go fabric shopping today because I decided to make a dress for, I think I've mentioned this before, my oldest son is getting married in June, and it's been quite a struggle to find a dress that I can wear that's not black, white, or any of the wedding colors. So, yeah. So I decided, and he told me he wants me to wear solid, he wants me to wear a long dress, so it's just really hard to find something. So I know that's the washi dress that I made last week is a dress pattern that's really flattering, and I think in silk it will be beautiful. So I'm going silk shopping today. So that's probably going to be my next sewn project, and I'm planning to do some embroidery on it. So I'll keep you posted. So anyway, that covers my sewing. Completely covers my sewing projects, and everything else from here on in will be all about knitting. Okay, so I did make some progress on my Durami sweater. The Durami is a pattern that is on cover of Pom Pom magazine, and it was designed by Isabel Kramer. And guys, I finished a sleeve. I never have trouble with sleeve island. I know some of you do, but not me. I kind of crank right through sleeves. I did find that I still had problems with my arm though, my left arm with this. I'm not sure why. I really think it might be just the combination of two strands together and the weight of the sweater. And just like the pulling, like as this is sitting on my lap, as I was like tugging, with whatever I do with my left hand when I knit, apparently is the problem. So it's a little slow going for me just because of that, not because of sleeve island. But anyway, if you're a new viewer, you maybe want to see the whole thing. So there it is. The yarns I'm using are Lavender Loon Everlong, and I said last time it was a Pearl Jam song, but it's Foo Fighters, another really cool 90s band. And then this is this black plum color is Like a Hurricane from Primrose Yarn Company, and then the main body color is Stitch Together Studio in the buff, which I only have seen one time on her website. So you can bug her and tell her you want more. You want it too, if you want it. But yeah, I'm awfully close. I figured out, I've tried it on, and I figured out I only have about 4 inches to go on the bottom here. So I've just put the loops on some waste yarn while I work on the sleeves, because I don't really like needles poking around at me. So yeah, I'm on the second sleeve. There I am, second sleeve. That should go pretty fast if I just make some time to sit down and knit. So that's that sweater. I have also been working quite a lot. So between that and this sweater right here, or sorry, whip right here, this is Helen Stewart's Impressionist shawl, which she's doing as a mystery knit along. The last clue was released today, and I'm pretty sure there'll be people done tomorrow, because people are whipping through it. I'm still on clue, I think it's clue 3. Yeah, I'm through clue 1 and 2. I'm still pretty close to the beginning of clue 3. I'm on row 136 if you're doing this too. These lace rows, I mean, I love the way it looks, but they're really slow knit. It's 17 stitch repeat. It's like a little too many for me to remember on the right side row. Wrong side row are easier to remember, but right side row, it's a little bit too much. I tend to just keep needing to look at what I'm doing, like look at the pattern instructions to get through it. And I have 2 more rows of lace, and then I think after that, it's pretty much smooth sailing. Couple yarn over rows. And then, yeah, on to clue 4. I'm excited. So if you don't want this to be spoiled, I'm going to show everyone my progress right now. So look away. I'll tell you when to look back, and I'll also flash on the screen where to move to. So I want to show the middle because I want you to see my color combo. Look at that. I'm so happy with it. The darker colors coming back in soon, so that should be really, really pretty. There's some really cool, I'm going to show you a close-up of the lace. Let's see if it'll focus. Focus. Alright, it's not really focusing, but there you go. Isn't that pretty? On my shawl, what you're seeing, that is turquoise and pink. That's one color. So that's from Garn Story. That's that. Dyer, hand dyer, indie dyer in Germany. This is called Sushi mit Belushi. My white is from Hedgehog. You can look now if you're looking away. It's from, I'm showing just the yarns. I won't show it again, I promise. The white's from Hedgehog. It's a potluck color. But this white reminds me so much of the way painters paint white, because white, they never paint with white. It's always lots of colors, especially in landscape painting. So I thought that this was a really good impressionist color. And then finally my green is from Ching Fibers in UK. And it's called Lost Winds. And this is a regular color in her rotation. And I think Sushi mit Belushi is a regular color in Garn Story's rotation as well. Yeah, so that's my other whip. I made some progress on my on my shawl design, my fingering weight shawl design. I'm going to show you. I don't know how much you're really going to be able to see this. It's progressed quite a lot since the last time I showed you. It's been several weeks since I've showed you, and I'm at a point where I'm kind of in an improv place on it where I really need to just play around. So I just need some clear, like where I don't have, where I'm not worried about grading papers, or I'm not worried about, you know, my kids or anything like that, where I can just sit and mess around. So maybe tonight, or maybe tomorrow I'll have time to do that. So here you go. This is what I have done. I think it's going to be easier to see. I put half of it on waste yarn. So this is a center out shawl design. So you start right here in the middle. See the belly button there with the cat hair sticking out? Yeah, so there you go. And this is basically, let me show you this way, an elongated diamond shape right now. So I've got a series of decreases. 2 spines right now happening on it, so one going this way and one going this way. This will be top to bottom like this, so this will be the center of the shawl, basically the center back of the shawl. And yeah, I have plans for the rest of it. The yarn I'm using is again Primrose. I think it's so funny that Primrose keeps popping up in my, I don't have a lot of her yarn. But I think almost every skein I've ever bought is in something, has been knitted. So I don't have the card. Oh, there it is. Okay, Primrose yarn. This is her black truffle colorway, and it's on her Sophia base. Which is an MCN, merino cashmere nylon. So if you're a returning viewer, you know I'm an MCN junkie. I love that blend, especially in fingering weight. So yeah, I'm excited that I made some progress on that. I haven't really been, it's been neglected. It's been sitting alone for a really long time. And I have it in this beautiful goth inspired bat wing bag from Home Row Fiber Company. This was a Halloween offering, but I think I've seen it since. I think she did a different color. Mine has a purple lining. I think she's doing it with a mustard lining, maybe. I don't know. You can check her out. I'll have her information in my show notes. So I think that's all my whips, and now everything else is acquisitions. So and I swatched some things I want to show you. I talked about swatching last time, swatching some different things. So let me show you the swatches first because they're pretty cool. So remember this? This is the Ching Fiber Melted Surrey club color. I signed up for a surprise club, and I think I said last week that it's Siri, and I didn't realize it was going to be hairy Siri when I signed up. I just was like, oh, that sounds interesting. Let me get that. And I ended up getting, so she sent me 2 colors. This color is kind of outside my comfort zone. It's not really what I usually use. But anyway, let me show you the swatch because the swatch is pretty cool. I don't have any idea what I'm doing with this. You know what? I was thinking, I mean, not this color, but I got to notice that my next club shipment's coming. There you go. That's what it knits up as. So it's actually pretty interesting. It's very Easter-like to me. Like those are kind of springy, Eastery colors. And it's very lightweight. The hand is so supple and soft, and I'm trying to understand the drapeability of it. I don't really think, well, though, maybe it'll stretch. I don't know. I think it's really needing to be knit into something so that I can understand the fiber better, and then from there design it into something useful. So there's the label. Melted Baby. I'm not sure why it's melted. That's kind of a weird, an unfortunate name. And this color is called Purple Rain. It's her, like I said, a club color. So I do have another club color coming. I really want my shawl design to be neutral, so I'm planning shades of grays. So if some baby Suri comes that's shades of gray, it might work its way in there. That might be interesting. I don't know. I'm thinking shawl, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, the other thing that I swatched, I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, you maybe have seen me asking whether or not we should do a humorless cowl, because since the humorless sweater, which is another Isabel Kramer design, was ranked, Mason-Dixon Knitting did a ranking like the way the basketball rankings go. She did a March Madness ranking for sweaters, for knits, and humorless won. It was the overall winner of all the categories, and I thought it would be fun. I've wanted to knit it, so I thought it would be fun to run a cowl, because I find cowls really motivational. So I'm hoping that other people agree with me and that you're interested, because I'm thinking I'm going to start at May 1 and run it through July. Whips are fine, so if you have a work in progress, that would be fine. I do have prizes planned, so I think it'll be a fun way to be motivated and get going on it. And I'm gonna join too, so I'm hoping to be ready. I want to draw me off the needles before I start a new colorwork sweater. So let me show you my swatch though. So I had told you last week, it's cinnamon, I'm so excited. I had showed you last week new yarn that I got from Jill Draper Make Stuff. I bought it on sale, so it was rather fortuitous, from Brooklyn General Store, and yeah, it was almost half price. So I mean, faced with spending $180 on a sweater versus $90, I chose $90, and it was the color I wanted anyway. So this is the tag, Jill Draper Make Stuff, and this is the Rockwell yarn, which is a 3-ply yarn. It has a steady, all the colors have a steady brown, natural sheepy brown color in it, and then she overdyes it, so you get like a range of colors. And every batch that she does, she names a new color, from what I've seen anyway. She might have some duplicates, but this yarn is a Cormo Merino crossbred wool, and it's a sheep to skein process that she uses in I think she's near New Paltz, New York, so it's upstate New York. And so every blend also is based on whatever sheep shearing happened the previous spring. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm very excited to work with her yarn. So In order to get gauge for the humorless sweater, I had to go down a needle size. So this is, I knit everything on size 5, which is US size 5, 3.75 millimeter. It seems like I have so many size 5 needles, which is fine. I was really hoping this was going to go on 6s though. So, and in case you're wondering, look at my icy blue. I just love it. I love the way these colors are playing together. I think the contrast is awesome. Let me tell you about my icy blue because that's a stash acquisition. Here it is on the, I already caked it obviously. This is my new favorite yarn company, I think. I mean, it's new to me. Not new because it says right on the tag, established in 2007, but this is Plucky Knitters. So Plucky Knitters had a big sale last week. I think it was last Monday. And a lot of small batch stuff, like not small batch, but like leftovers, I guess is a good way to say it. Like kind of like a remnant sale, but not remnants, like single skeins and small amounts of skeins left over. So this is their snug worsted worsted weight. And look, it's merino cashmere with a little alpaca. It feels so amazing though. Oh my goodness. I should hit more. I'm going to hit more of their sales and make an entire sweater out of this at some point. It's really, really beautiful. And I just really love the way it looks with the Jill Draper Make stuff. It just looks so good. So excited for this. I know like sweater weather's kind of behind us, at least, except for fingering weight in the Northeast. Like we're pretty much getting full on spring now. It's going to be a high of 60 today, 60 degrees Fahrenheit, which is wow, so nice, so nice. I'm going to New York City very soon, so yeah, that is my my next cast on probably, and one of my stash acquisitions. I ordered a little bit more Plucky. I had never done their sales before, so I wasn't sure how it went. So I ordered that blue, and then I ordered this gray. So I got this skein right here. Actually, I got 2 of these. This is her Primo Sport, or their Primo Sport, and it is also an MCN. It has 20% cashmere, so it feels really great. If you watch the Grocery Girls this week, they are giving away gradient kits of Primo Sport for I think it's meant to be for Hohi's new Fading Point shawl that just came out. But yeah, I got this because last year I had bought this at a Ching Fiber sale, and this is a sport weight yarn, 100% merino. It has a tweed in it, a natural black tweed that she overdyed. Camera loves Martha always. I did swatch a tiny bit. I'm going to tell you what I'm going to plan to do with that in a second. So that's how it knits. This is on a size 7. So I don't know if I'm going to stick with size 7. I may drop down to a size 6. Yeah. Anyway, remember this? If you are a returning viewer, you might remember this. This was a submission that I had done for Amorusu. It was fall 2017 catalog that they did not choose. And I came pretty close. Like looking through their catalog, they used the yarn that I used. They had, let me show you the swatch. It's a mosaic pattern. They used the yarn that I used in some other sweater. And they also did a similar, they had a different silhouette, but they had a similar mosaic pattern sweater. So I felt like I got really close to being accepted into their magazine, and so that was cool. They're changing their format a little bit, so of like how not the way the magazine looks, but they're changing the format of the way they publish. So I haven't seen any calls, but I'm interested to apply again and see if they choose me. So anyway, my plan is to do that sweater, that hoodie in these 2 colors. I really needed a tonal, a sport weight tonal to to go with this sport weight multicolor. And I think these will work well. If they don't, I don't know. I may just go with a natural just to see. I'm hoping that this isn't too busy to make the sweater. So we'll see. We'll see. This will be something I'll cast on later on in the summer. I'm not anxious to cast that on. I was just really happy to see a yarn that was usable that I also got on sale. I can't remember what the percent off was. I think I want to say it was like 40% off. It was a really good. And if you're not familiar with Plucky Knitters, the best thing to do is to sign up for their newsletter. They will email you when they're having sales. They have sales twice a month, as well as they have a 24/7 shop where you can pre-order any amount of a set of colors that they change up every month. So at the beginning of every month there's a new set of colors that come out. So yeah, that is my other, I have one more stash acquisition to show you. You're gonna die when you see these. These are really, two of these colors are really outside of my comfort zone, but I did it to myself, so I can't complain too much, if at all. You know what? It's good. It's good to get out of your comfort zone. I really like it. But I had seen on Christy Glass Knits about maybe 2-3 weeks ago, she was talking about ways to improve, like how to get your knitting mojo back. And it wasn't that I needed my knitting mojo back, but I just thought this was kind of a cool thing. So she was going through different things, and she talked about the company called Trey Liz. And she said that Trey Liz had a random skein option. So you could select a certain, like somewhere on her shop, like I think it's there all the time. Somewhere on her shop you just click random and she sends you 3 random singles base skeins. So you have no idea what you're gonna get. And you know, to me that's kind of exciting. I was like, oh, yay, let's see what she sends me, and let me see what I can do with it. I've never knit with her yarn before, and I've heard it smells amazing. So it does. She uses some essential oils or something in it that's to process it. And she talks a little bit about it on her website. She's an indie dyer based in Greece, actually. So her singles base is called Zeus, and I want to show you the colors. This is one of them that I got. This one's called Zelda, which I assume is after the game Zelda. So that's kind of cool. My sons love to play Zelda. So this other one, oh my goodness, this is so far outside my comfort zone, but I hope I'll use it. I think I'll use it. I don't even know if you're seeing like how fluorescent yellow this is. It's pretty much a tonal. There's little hints of some orangey gold in there. That's a cinnamon color. Cinnamon. This one's called Lemon Incest. Is that right? That's sort of a weird name. Non-English speaker naming it. I think she meant lemon zest, I'm guessing. I don't know. But yeah, these two colors kind of go together, but I don't know that I'll put them together necessarily. This is also really bright, this one. And then the last skein I got, oh, it just came apart. Let me put it back together. Lemon Incest Zelda, and this one's called Gorilla Girls. Oh, that's cool. I don't even know if I realized that when I opened the package. It's pretty. It's a nice, really pretty speckly pink skein. Actually not too far off from the color, the hedgehog that's in my impressionist shawl. What I can tell you about the smell of these, when I opened this package, I set the bag. They were in a plastic bag that I opened just to squish them and touch them and stuff. And I put the bag down on my bed, and my cat crawled into the bag. So they smell really good. Cat approved colors or cat approved smells. So that was my trio. If you're interested in doing it, it could be really fun. It could definitely be a fun way to get you out of your comfort zone. When Christy Glass showed her 3 skeins on her channel, I'm sure they were handpicked for her because they were really close to colors that she tends to knit with, which is a lot of pink and purple. Do I have anything else to show? Oh, I have one more thing. This isn't really, this is sheepy. It's not really fibery. I got this in the mail. I'm going to just show you and then I'll explain what it is. Look at how cute this is. So this is one of my kids' graduation, Hampshire College commencement invitation that they sent to parents. And it's not a how to raise sheep school. It's a really actually very, very interesting. It's probably, I actually think it is the most liberal college in the nation. It's an intense experience going here if you're an undergrad. They do have a beautiful farm though, right on the campus, and their mascot, their unofficial mascot, is a black sheep. So that's why the sheep, but I just wanted to share that with you because I think it's really cool. And he graduated in January, but they only do one commencement, so he has the opportunity to present his final project, because this is grad school for undergrads, and this school is good for kids. The black sheep is their mascot, so that should be like a good indication of what kind of school they are. This is the kind of school for kids that are really self-motivated and don't want a traditional college education. This is a very non-traditional college education. A really excellent one. I think like 30% of their students go on and get doctorates, and another like massive percentage, 30 or 40%, go on and open businesses and become employers. Not just employees. So it's like they have a really, really awesome success rate, but it's very small school. It's in Massachusetts, in case you're wondering. So that's my brag. That's my mom brag, as well as like a way to like bring in the sheeps. Yeah, okay. Well, thank you for spending time with me. This was kind of a short one. I had like a pretty busy week. This week, just doing a lot of stuff, and today, as I said, I'm going fabric shopping and I'm having family dinner night with my boys in the city, and yeah, so but tomorrow will be all about crafting again. But anyway, thank you so much for spending time with me. Please subscribe. It'll really help my channel grow. I really appreciate it. And please comment below if you want. I answer every comment. I definitely read them all, and I really appreciate hearing from my viewers. And I hope you're excited about the Cal, and I hope you will join. And yeah, we'll look for announcements on Ravelry about that, and on Instagram. I'll be announcing it both places. So take care. Bye. Enjoy your weekend.